Welcome back everyone to my Best of MarvelDB series, where I take decks from MarvelDB's website, which are user-generated decks, different aspects, different characters, and see what the best of the best are. We've already done aggression and leadership, and today I want to talk about protection. And one of the best protection, and not only protection, but solo characters is Captain America. And this is the Stunlock protection deck. And what this deck does is it combines two things. One, great protection skills, so you can defend, ready up, keep hitting as much as you want, but also stuns the character, well the villain, almost every single chance you can get. There are so many cards in here that stun the enemy, and as you don't know, especially in solo, stunning the enemy is extremely valuable, buys you a lot of time, and can really help you win the game. So we'll go for Captain America's deck first. Obviously Captain America, his alter ego size, Steve Rogers, has a recovery of 3, has 11 hit points and a hand size of 6. He has a Living Legend ability, which allows you to play the first hero you play costs 1 less, which is a really handy tool. And the set of instructions allows you to search for his shield. So after you draw your hand of 6, unless you're really unlucky, you can get an extra card, his shield. And on the hero side, he has really well-rounded stats. He has 2 for all of his thwart, attack, and defense. And the I can do this all day ability. So once per round, you can discard a card and ready Captain America. Essentially, you can defend and attack every phase you wanted to. You could defend and thwart. It's just really handy. So let's look at his shield. So the shield first is not great for 1, restricted, but it gets plus 1 defense and 1 retaliate. So combine that with his defense of 3. Essentially, straight away you're going to get 3 defense and retaliate, which is extremely useful against certain villains such as Ultron. We also have 2 copies of Fearless Determination, which is an event for 0. He gains plus 1 thoughts end of the round and draws a card, so it replaces itself, which is a good tool. Captain America's Helmet is an upgrade for 1, which allows you to basically, if you were defeated, you can discard this card, set health down to 1, basically you get a chance at surviving. Steve's Apartment is a support card, alter ego card. You can exhaust it, draw a card, and heal on damage for Steve Rogers, which is a great card to have every time you go to the alter ego side to heal up, which is basically in this deck is going to survive as long as you can. Shield Block is a fantastic card. Basically, as long as Captain America's shield's on the playing ground, you can exhaust a shield. It costs 0. Take any amount of damage, exhaust a shield, play this card, and cancel all damage. So, against some expert villains, this is going to be really, really handy. The Super Soldier Serum, it lets you generate a physical resource for anything, as an alter ego hero, it's anything, which, as you're going to see soon enough, this physical resource is really handy in this. SHELD Toss is an event for 0. It's got X cards in your hand. Basically, you throw your shield. For each card you discard, you do 4 damage to X enemies. So you discard 3 cards. You do 4 damage to 3 enemies, including the villain. But you have to return the shield to your hand. So it's a bit of a drawback, but it's not too bad. He also gets a Ally Agent 13, cost of 3, 2 float, 1 attack, 3 health. Which enters play though, you can remove 2 threat from a scheme. So essentially, you can remove 4 threat from a scheme in 1 activation. And lastly, we have Heroic Strike, which is an event for 3. It's a hero action attack, deals 6 damage to an enemy. If you pay using a physical resource, also stun the enemy. So bear in mind we're stunning already. So there's going to be a lot of stunning action cards in this set. So on to protection cards now. So first of all, we have Black Widow, which is a ally. Costs 3, only has 2 health, has 2 fort, 1 attack. But she's useful for a 1 ability, because his weakness is tricky encounter cards to get around. It's got an upgrade, attacking again, and so forth. Basically, her hero response is you can spend a mental resource and discard that encounter card and reveal a second one, so that's really handy. Next up is the Luke Cage card. He's a great ally, 1 thought, 2 attack, enter play with tough status card, so you can basically get a free attack or use him to defend a big attack from the villain. We have 2 copies of Expert Defense. This is a event for 3. Where depending on the attack, you get plus 3 defense for that attack. So combine there's already 3 defense from the shield and retaliate. You're taking probably no damage. Indomitable. We have 2 copies of these. This is an upgrade for 1. When you're defending against attack, you can discard this card and ready the hero. So combine that with the I can do this all day ability. You can basically keep him ready as much as you want. We have Energy Barrier, which is a upgrade for 2, which basically it has 3 charges. When you take damage, interrupt, you can prevent that damage and deal damage back to the opponent. So this is good if you really need to stop yourself from dying. You can flip damage back at the opponent. Combined with another good card, we have Counter Punch. So you're defending this attack. So when you defend an attack, you can deal an equal from that attack back to the opponent. So Medical Team or Med Team is a classic support card, 3 and has 3 charges, heal 2 damage from any character. Get Behind Me is also handy to get rid of the pesky treachery cards, so cost of 1, you can cancel the treachery card and reveal a second one instead. It's really handy because certain cards you just can't quite get around. If the villain attacks me or it thwarts, I don't mind so much, but when he gets rid of my my allies or my supports or stuns me, that's going to really slow me down. We have 3 copies of Tackle. So it's another card, Stuns. So as long as you use a physical resource, cost 3, you can deal 3 damage and stun the enemy. So a lot of times you're going to be constantly stunning the enemy and keeping them basically at bay. With only one threat we put in the scheme, bear in mind no salvation tokens, you can keep the enemy at a standstill as long as you can. We also have a copy of Armor Vest, which is actually defense. So we have so we combine Armored Vest with the shield with his quite good 2 defense. You get basically you have 4 defense at one point. So you can literally do this all day. That's all protection card apart from obviously power of protection for the resources. We have Mockingbird, purely because it's another card that stuns, so we're going to use it to stun again. Avengers Mansion, Helicarrier for the card draw and the reduced costs, which is a staple in most decks. Copy of Downtime for the extra recovery, just in case you need to grow some health. And a copy of each of the resource cards. That's it for this deck. So I'm going to go up against the Absorbing Man from the Rise of Red Skull expansion set. We put this together and we're going to see how it plays, and let's get to it. Okay, so here we are against Absorbing Man, Expert Mode. So first of all, the Absorbing Man has 2 scheme, 2 attack, 15 health, obviously gets a trait feature without in play, and basically he puts Super Absorbing Power into play. Now Super Absorbing Power is very pesky, because it gives him all 4 of the characteristics, Ice, Metal, Stone and Wood, which you'll see when he is gone. If this is out when stage 3 is out, it's going to be very problematic. So the side scheme does nothing other than boost up his trait's ability. Non-shell passes out on 2. Obviously, beginning of the round, villain phase, sorry. 1 delayed counter goes there. 1 delayed counters there are, it affects certain encounter cards. Should also do the first ability, which is to discard cards so we get an environment into play. So let's keep going so we get an environment. There we go, Avalanche. I know it's a side scheme, my bad. It looked like an environment. Oh, come on, where's an environment? There we go. So if we make an undefended attack against us, we place the extra threat on the main scheme. 2 threats if there are 5 more delayed counters on the side scheme, so I'll put that there so we know. So we're going to draw up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, we've got a lot of resources, but we can get rid of that side scheme. That side scheme has to go early on because stage 3 Absorbing Man does quite a lot of effects depending on how many traits he has, and with that he gets all the traits, so we don't want that in the play. So we're going to use his Living Legend ability to... Actually, first we'll get the shield. I nearly forgot that then. So get the shield out for setup before we start. Let's get the shield. Not where is it? It was a 3rd card down. There we go. Just in case, get the shield. So we have the shield out. So we use Living Legend to reduce the cost of an ally. Save the physical resources, get Agent 13 down, get rid of 2 threat from a scheme, get rid of that to 1. We'll flip him over. I'm going to play, let's play Heroic Strike early on. Use the strength resources to stun. So that's 6 damage, down to 9. And he is stunned. We'll also play the shield nice and early because that's a really good card to have out. We'll use here to thwart to get rid of that side scheme because it's pesky and annoying. To get that gone, she's on 1 damage, and he can attack, getting down to 7. So we're on pretty much half health already. Ready up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, on to the villain phase. One threat to the main scheme. We have 1 delay counter, stunned, so attack is skipped. Encounter card is only multiplication, so depending on what trait we have the ice trait, so exhaust identity card. Okay, that's not too bad. There we go. So I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to just use... I'm going to basically get both these cards down at once, so we're going to pay 2. Let's get 1 out, exhaust it for a resource, pay a shield and get a second one. And then we're just going to, let's see, let's thwart, because it's got 2, and keep the threat down low. Ready up. Draw up 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so we have the shield block, which is good. 1 on the main scheme, 2. He attacks, so let's just do the shield block. So 2 plus none. We'll just take that. Shield block isn't worth using. So 1, retaliate for 1, pings back. And then counter card is Avalanche side scheme when revealed. I can either spend a energy resource or take 2 indirect damage or 3. So yeah, I'm going to do that. Spend the resource. So that comes down. It has 2 per player. It has an acceleration token. So don't forget. Now time for our go. So what we're going to do is get rid of that. Use her up to get rid of this side scheme because acceleration, the main scheme, is not what I want. Get that gone. She's gone. We are going to, we've got a lot of great cards we can use, so we're just going to go straight for the attack. So 2, down to there. End of our go, we're going to discard, downtime, and draw 4, 5, 6. A lot of defensive cards. We've got tackle, that's not too bad. We can do some fetching there. So 1 on there, that on there, straight up. He attacks, so we're going to use shield block for this if it's big. So 2, 3. We'll play shield block, exhaust shield, prevents all that damage, retaliate back for 1. And counter card is treachery. We are going to get rid of that. We are going to use get behind me to play get behind me. Cancel it, have him attack us instead. We're going to defend. So 2, nothing's taken, and ping back, retaliate again. There we go. So the attack is not bad for Captain America. Our go. So what we're going to do is we're going to play 1, 2, 3, and play tackle. Do 3 damage and stun. So the next phase begins. So this is the reason why the super omnipotent power card was taken off as fast as I could, because every time he activates, he does, if he has Ice or Stone trait, he will do 1 threat on the main scheme. Metal or wood, take 1 direct damage, so that's quite tough. So he has 16 health now, but he is stunned, so we've got a bit of time. So onto 16 he is. We're also going to discard a card to ready Captain America. Attack for 2 again, so down to 14. Ready up. What do we get? Luke Cage, the Mansion, Genius, and Halikawa. Well, okay, that's a weird hand. Okay, so 1 on the main scheme. It's on 4 delay counters. He can't attack because he's stunned. See why stunning is so handy in solo. He didn't activate, so we're okay. So hits in counter phase. So this gets replaced. He gets the metal, so undefended's got a resource from my hand. Okay, Surge and Lightning Bolt. Okay, so this is, so I forgot to mention I do have the power drain set with this. So discard 2 cards from the counter deck, take 1 indirect damage, boost back on his card this way. So 1, 2, 2 damage, down to 7. Okay, our go. We will, so we've got 14 health to get past. I can get Luke Cage out. Let's get Luke Cage out. So 4 for that of toughness. 1, 2, and 3 for Helicarrier. It's going to help out. We're going to attack with both. That's 3 damage down to 11. Ready up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A lot of, well, that's all the green cards. All the so that's on 5. Protection cards going mental. 5. Delay counters are on 5 too. Didn't stun, but never mind. So he attacks. We're going to defend. 3, 4 damage. Take off 3 defense. That's 1 to us. With Retaliate 1, we're also going to play Counterpunch, so after we defend against attack, the damage equals to the attack to the hero's attack. So he took forward, take 4 back, so he's down to 6 damage, hit points, sorry, and the counter card is our alter ego, so we can't exhaust Steve Rogers, so we've got to discard half our cards in our hand rounded down, so perfectly even. Get rid of Med Team, get rid of Indomitable, okay. Time for our go. We use 6 damage to win. So what we're going to do is reduce the cost of the next card I play by 1, and that's 1, 2. Tackle for 3. 1, 2, 3. Discard armor vest to ready Captain America, and then swing for 4. And he's down to 0, and that's Absorbing Man defeating an expert. So all in all, this deck is a really fun deck. It's one of the best solo decks you can play. You can put anything with Captain America, justice, leadership, aggression. It is just so fun. He's so versatile, he can just keep going and going and going. But the reason this deck works so well is obviously because of the stun option. Stunning buys you a whole turn. You can use that turn to set up your engine going, your resource generating card, Avengers Mansion, your Heli Carrier, other little cards, upgrades you can put down nice and early. And stunning is so good. That's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you could subscribe, get it to 100 subscribers, I'd appreciate that a lot. Look forward to more Marvel Champions videos, more Lord of the Rings videos as well coming soon. And that's it, and thanks for watching.